Hey everyone, it's time for Geocache Talk, whether you're at work, in the car, wherever you are. We hope you enjoy the show about the great sport of geocaching. If you're watching on YouTube Live, please join our audience in the chat room. You can find the chat room link on the front page of geocachetalk.com. And while you're there, check out our incredible sponsors. If you're listening to the audio podcast on the show, please give it a like and subscribe on your favorite geocaching app so you get all the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. Big thanks to the Trail Bugs for the music and our featured patrons, Peachy1276, the No Code Geocachers, Marsipanic, Bricker John, Firesafe, Effa Sabero, Geo Rick, Cache Addict Mel, Geocaching Angie. How about that? There she is. Yep, throwing a piece there. Sir Drumalot, and our new patrons, Adair MD, Simmels123, Chaos in Motion, Cache the Line. Well, what do you know? Look at that. Cache the Line. Gives a thumbs up. Zero, O0, Ridland Kids 0O, Florida TB Hunter, The Caching Dead in New York, Nakul, and then another couple new ones, UDAC and the Dig Family. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk for more details. Patrons get the new blackout coins right there. I'm showing one of the blackout coins. There we go. And other geocaching items during the year, which look a lot like this, which I'm sending out. It is the zipper pull, Geocache Talk zipper pull. If I can get it to...
Or necklace,
or charm, or
nose ring, or I don't know. It could be anything.
I guess, yeah, it could be anything you want it to be. It's trackable. This one's not, but the ones I'm sending out are trackable. They have the tracking number on the back, so that's cool. Trackable, a wearable trackable. You don't see that very often. Bonus content, invites to special events only for patrons. We got two of those coming up, Jesse. Bonus content, and we'll mention this again later on, but we're going to do a special show this Wednesday with WV Tim for our 142.5 show. We're going to have WV Tim live, but the show is for patrons. And we're going to talk about the new Geo Tour that he is involved with. So we're looking forward to that show. If you like to be part of that, you'll need to be a patron. If you don't want to be a patron, that's fine. The audio will eventually come out and you'll be able to listen to it later. But if you want to be involved in that and be in the chat room, just like a regular show, just like a regular Sunday show, and get the link to where we will be and all that good stuff, that's a bonus for the patrons. Thank you, patrons. And special events, we're doing a patron dinner at Geo Woodstock. So looking forward to that. We've got quite a few that are going to be there so far. We're looking at, 60 folks probably.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And so we're looking forward to that. So support levels start at as little as Bison Tube level, which is $3 a month. Well, let me welcome my co-host, Jesse.
Good evening. How's the microphone working now?
It sounds fabulous, my friend.
Okay, good. I found out that if you plug it in, it works better.
It works great. Woo! I love it. Well, we got a big show. So I'm with Jesse. We're going to jump right into this show 142 for March 31st, as we discuss the new geocaching network. Woo! And we got everybody on except for Zach. He'll be on here in a few minutes. He had a meeting, so he will be joining shortly. So welcome back, everybody, and especially welcome back to our new members of the family of the Geocache Talk Network. So we're looking forward to tonight's show. We're going to go through, in case you're wondering, hey, what happened to the news? We're going to do the news a little later. We're going to start with talking with our new members of the Geocache Talk Network, and we'll kind of talk about later on. We'll talk about why we're doing this, and we'll talk about some upcoming things. Jesse's going to tease better than I can because I just spill the whole bean. So Jesse's going to kind of give some hints and clues to what we're going to be doing this year.
Something I'm really excited about, but
it's going to be awesome, man.
Oh yeah. Or awesome. A colossal failure. One of the two. But either way, it's going to be huge. So
yeah, we said that about the stash, and I think it went well. It was.
I do too. That was fun.
It was. We want to do new things and not just do the same old. So we're going to start with Angie, geocaching Angie, which is Angela Westfall. So how are you, Angie?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fabulous.
That's good.
Looking forward to tonight. This is gonna be fun to talk. So let's kind of get caught up with you. So how's Henry?
Good. It's been really fun seeing two little ones, how they interact, having siblings and all that. I feel like it's really strange that I have two kids. That seems weird.
How old's Sophia?
She's 2, and then Henry's 2 months. So
wow. 2 years and 2 months.
We stay busy.
Well, just a little bit, right? That one really doesn't add just one to the equation. It multiplies.
Yes.
It really adds a whole different dimension to it.
Yes.
Exponential.
But the second one has to become famous too because Sophie's already famous. Since you're a famous author,
I know. I talked to my mom.
Famous. She's like royalty in geocaching.
That's right.
She doesn't even know it.
That's right. She's like, you're in a book, Sophia. She's like, whatever. Let's go on. Let's move on.
Just like Katie's nephews.
Yeah. Yeah. Case used to taking little ones out and running around too.
Yeah, so. Only for 1 hour, and then it's too much.
That's enough. That's all.
They're crazy.
2 hours. That's all they want. Oh, by the way, chat room. If you have questions, obviously put them in there. Jesse, you keep an eye.
I got it. Chat room's been going long before we have.
They always
they're flying already.
But if you have questions for the new network, obviously put them in there. We'll get to you here in a little bit. But all right, back to Angie. How's your blog going, by the way, first? Because
I took a little break.
Okay.
But then now I've started writing again.
Okay.
It's hard just to find time and then the energy because as soon as they're sleeping, I go to sleep. So that's the goal every day is to just go back to sleep. So, but slowly I've been getting more sleep. So,
yeah. And then, I just want to say you have done a fabulous job for the network. The blogs have been wonderful. You've picked some great blogs, and people that have sent them in have done tremendous job and been fun reading because they hear from Jesse and I all the time. We like to hear from other folks, and it's been fun to kind of to read these other stories, from various people. So I think it's kind of neat, I guess, from your perspective too. You can have some guests write stories that are different perspectives. So
yeah, I really appreciate everyone who sent in stories. And if you haven't, you can subscribe to the blog on Geocache Talk. So plug in that. So because we have one new blog post every month, and you don't want to miss it.
That's right.
When we're promoting it. Yeah.
So, and they're always out there in case you miss it. If you want to go check them out, definitely check them out because they're out there. And Zach, you're now with us. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, my friend. We'll get to Zach and how he's doing here in a moment. So Angie, you've been doing some giveaways also recently.
I did one, the trackable one for the 2 counties. Yeah, we have a historic trail up in the corner of North Dakota, that Tricassius. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
He's a patron.
Yeah, he's pretty well known up here, and he partnered with a couple counties to give out some trackables. So
cool.
He sent me some to give out too.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're sending you some also for some extra items for Geocache Talk, so you can do maybe another giveaway at some point down the road. So, but those are fun to do.
We have a question from the chat room.
Okay.
Somebody is asking about your Facebook page, the Geocaching Guild.
Was it Ken that was asking that? Maybe?
I believe it was.
Geocacher Ken? Yeah, so him and I are trying to work on blogging like Facebook page. So trying to get all the different geocaching blogs to submit their blog posts so we can share them on there, because I feel like there's a lot out there, but it's hard to find them. And so if you go and like that page, we're trying to share all of those different blogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. So yours is out there, Geocache Talks is out there, and several other blogs. So it's kind of that's a great idea to get all the blogs kind of at least referenced in one spot, maybe, so you can kind of go from there if you want to. So, so I'm going to keep some questions though, Angie, that I've got under your category, but I want to ask that to everybody. So we're going to come back to those for you and for other people. So let's jump down to Mr. Zach. Thanks.
Yep.
So, how was Hawaii?
Oh, it was pretty good.
I would think so. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Come
terrible
on,
weather, nothing to see down there.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Who needs it? No, I mean, Susan and I've been. We love going to Hawaii. We would love to go back. But how was? I mean, was that your first time to Hawaii?
No,
or you've been there before?
Third or fourth.
Oh, okay. See, so it's like, oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. It was Maggie's first time outside of the 48, so.
Oh, okay.
You probably didn't do any caching while you're down there, though, right?
Not a single cache, no.
Not a single cache. Yeah, you'll go back next time. It's okay.
No, I got, I don't know, 40 of them or something.
Oh my gosh, that's
nice.
cool.
Which is hard.
Did she go with you?
Yeah, on some of them, yeah.
Maggie will go. She's not adverse to geocaching, right?
No, she's just like, of us, she's the one that likes to do like the actual tent camping. So I think if she was honest, it's just the urban caches that she doesn't care for. But if we're on a hike and we hop off the trail just to grab a couple, she doesn't seem to mind too much. She's cool. She's
staring at you right now.
No. She tends to like the earth cache locations we end up at. We actually kayaked all the way up to a place where the only way you can get to it is kayaking to a waterfall.
Oh,
so we did
cool.
an earth cache there.
Oh, wow.
Is it like a hard? Is it like a hard DT earth cache?
Yeah. Yep.
That's
and
cool.
then and we swam under a waterfall while we were there, which was pretty cool. Took her on a surprise helicopter ride and did the Jurassic Park fly-in.
Right.
Nepali coast.
Oh, wow.
Got some eagle-eye views of, we were up in the helicopter, and I'm like, I've seen this view before on my geocaching map every time I look at the island.
Right. You're like on Google Map. You're like, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. And I could have spoofed and taken a screenshot. We were above some FTFs that have been there for years that nobody's found in the woods.
Nobody's found in the.
We could.
Wow.
It looks like my location's at ground zero, so I could claim I found it.
Right.
Who's gonna call me out on it?
Right.
Funny.
That's true. Wait.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta keep honest on the caching.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. No, I had a great time. Got a few good caches, and I'm at, I think, 69 logged, and I think there's a challenge I just need to get on GSAC again. So I should be at 70. Cool. So my goal is next time I go there just to get the last 30, and then I'll have 100 in Hawaii. Because there's a challenge I signed where you need 10 states at 100, and I'm at 5 of them so far. So
that's very cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Katie's like, whoa. That's a challenge that Katie, we're gonna fill your tank with gas, and we're gonna just say start driving and just start and leave Georgia and just start driving north or something toward.
You still won't make it to Hawaii though.
No, you won't make it. You won't make it there though. So wedding plans going good? When's the wedding's this summer?
Yeah. Would you say the wedding plans are going all right, Maggie?
She's like, no.
She's got like a nervous yes going.
Sure, they're going great.
Well, I think they were going well until yesterday. We realized we had 9 days left to go. So then I think by telling her that, I raised the anxiety level a little bit.
How many days?
99 days.
99 days? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow,
so 98 today.
Wow, it's going down quick. There you
She's
go.
got that deer in the headlights look.
Right. Last item specifically for you, and then, like I said, I've got questions for everybody here in a little bit. But
actually, on the wedding front, I was doing the math because I am currently on a streak, and I know once I'm married, that probably shouldn't continue too much longer for the sake of the marriage. But I did the math, and actually, on our honeymoon would be my 1,000th day. And we're looking at going to Ireland, so the oldest in Europe could be my 1,000th day.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
and that is one heck of a way to end that.
Yeah, that might be a good way to end it.
Europe's
and it's better than divorce. So
absolutely.
But can you stop yourself from cashing on the next day?
I don't know, especially since I'm in like a completely new area that has stupid simple caches to grab.
Right.
That is a question for Maggie, not actually for Zach.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Do I have to end my streak at 1,000 days on our honeymoon, or can I just cache through our honeymoon?
No.
Oh boy, she's giving me one of those looks I'm supposed to heed.
Right. Supposed to heed. That's hysterical.
I might just sneak out to grab some groceries or something for her.
Right. So, Europe's first, by the way, if you need any info, the Geocaching Junkies put together a whole thing on her blog about how you get to the, like, if you want to take a train, you want to take a bus, you want to take whatever. She's got it all laid out. So anyway, I'm working on an update to the 201 Geocaches to Find Before You Die book. So I'm re-updating every top 20 list that's in the book. And so I have to then go back out to Project GC, which we'll do another show about Project GC one someday again, not too distant future. And so I redid the one which is the 20 most popular. Most populars is defined by Wilson, and we don't have time to get into Wilson tonight, but number 2 on that list now is a new entry, because you have to have 50 favorite points to make the list, and this one has 50 favorite points. It also has one of the highest Wilson scores in the U.S. Ever. Well, it's number 2 on the list, and that is Zach's unicorn farts.
Yeah, my
cache.
little jar of unicorn farts.
Little jar of unicorn farts is number 2 in the U.S. So I don't know how this happened, but it did.
It's on the list, though.
It's
I
on the
have
list
it in a couple weeks. So
perfect.
Awesome.
So when Zach first put that cache out, he goes, "Oh man, this is gonna be great." And I go, he goes, it'll be in the book someday. And I go, yeah, settle down, young man. It'll be there if it gets there, because I don't pick. This is something I put a note in the book, because the one that Josh loves to talk about is the Doctor's Inn. It's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's the TARDIS.
Yep.
Remember that one from the video? And always, and Josh always says that's the best geocache in the U.S. And I go, settle down now, sir. Settle down. We have to go by what the stats say. And so I never do. I don't pick anything. It's just whatever the list gives me. And sure enough, number 2, my friend, number 2.
Somebody says they might be able to see the unicorn farts out the window right behind Zach.
Well, not quite.
Not
it's
quite.
on the other side of the house, but why not? We got time, right?
Go take a look.
Yeah, I'll go show it off. But
okay,
it's been featured on the show before, in fact, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because Angie showed it when she was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys have to read the description if you haven't read that. I think that deserves a favorite point. It's pretty great.
Well, I think why it's up there is it's a rare first idea in geocaching. I think something that was a lot of times like a great cache will be made and then it's copied all over. And I think a few people have copied this, but yeah, here it is. I'll put it out over here in the light.
This is a good example of what Zach will be doing.
I'm the man at the cache, right?
He's the man at the cache, exactly.
That's right.
That's what we talk about.
Perfect.
So inside, yep.
And there's a nice little creepy looking unicorn. Here, I'll show him in the light.
He's a little weird looking, isn't he? He's got those eyes like.
Yeah, especially if I turn him like in the shadows here.
Right.
But it's actually Dookie the unicorn from the Squatty Potty commercials. Right. And so he's got this thing in his backside. Right. You can remove, and it's a rainbow poop.
Oh gosh.
And you can reach into his bleep this out, Gary. No.
Okay, yeah, I'll bleep it out.
No. We need one of those little fuzzy boxes on the screen.
In there. So you've just reached into the backside of a unicorn and found the cache. Well, if you open this up, I can't because I got one hand.
That's okay.
It actually says, "Hey, you pervert, put this back. This is a decoy."
Right, it's a decoy. That's not where.
Oh my gosh!
In the actual cache is right here. This is my little jar of unicorn farts.
Have you Have you ever had to fill it back up? I mean, I know it gets kind of empty. Okay.
Yeah, it's my it's a 1 gallon jar of glitter, and you have to fish your hand around in there to find the cache, the tiny little cache.
And people get their hands all covered in glitter. It's hysterical.
Oh yeah, yep. So, well, you remember I had to do it because unfortunately we had a not so nice person in the area that decided to dump it out right before we were showing it off on the show.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to deal with things like that, and you know it is what it is. But you know, I'm not gonna let something like that get my spirits down. I just refill it and act like it doesn't phase anything. And but no, it's been quite a popular cache. I think we have like 88 favorite points on like 90 some finds. And,
and that's exactly how you can get number 2 in popularity is that.
Yep. And cool. It's growing in popularity. The geocaching vlogger was here and he did it. So I think it's on a lot of people's lists on their way to Woodstock, anyone north of here or around the area. So it's popular cache and love seeing the pictures. It's a popular one for people to bring their families with.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
kids love it.
There's a few people in the chat room that have found it, that have actually all been out there to find it too.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's only been a year. I mean, I'm in South Dakota, so like 90. Like to put in perspective, it's been out about a year, and it's at 80. I think 88. There's a guy that's got to log it yet that it was here, but I think it's at 88 favorite points, and there's only 2 in the area higher than it, and they've been around for over a decade, and I'm about to pass them. Yeah. So that's kind of puts in perspective, like. For our area, it's quite a popular cache too.
So Zach, I think if you have time to sign all 100 names, I think they all agree to give you a favorite point in the chat room. So you just sign it real quick. They all saw the cache, so
they were there.
Number 1, here I come.
They were there. We can boost that Wilson score really quickly.
Well, actually, and I don't know, is Tin Man still an active cache?
Tin Man, Tin Man is number 1. Yep, it is number 1.
And it is active.
Okay. It is active last time I checked. Now it might change.
Yep, I think maybe when I viewed it, it wasn't. So I was actually going to ask on that, but it might have just been under maintenance or something. But
I'll double check before I send the book to the publisher to let you know because if it archives, then you might be number 1, my friend. So.
Hey.
We'll see. Hey, do not go out and mess up that cache.
I was just going to ask where Tin Man is.
No, I'm not telling. Do not, my friend.
He's going to go kidnap the Tin Man.
Right. Do not do that.
The story of 2019 is like the journey to like lay a hit on Tin Man and
Right.
take his oil can away and.
Because I know you're into the stealing, like he stole Mingo.
Yeah, I
that's
did.
Not really.
Yep.
That's right.
Stole Mingo. Yep.
Stole Mingo and almost lost everything doing it.
Stole Maggie's heart.
There you go. Oh, aren't you
Oh.
sweet? All right, we're moving on. That's enough of you.
That was too cheesy. We got to move on.
All right, moving on to Katie. We'll come back to you, my friend, in a moment. So, all right, geocaching, Katie, you're up.
Yes.
So, Katie, of course, no, we've gone. Katie's one of our newer members of the Geocache Talk Network. We just talked to our
I'm happy
older
to
members.
be here.
Oh, we're so glad you're here too.
But definitely not new to the show.
No, not new to the show. In fact, we mentioned before the show even started, I went back and looked. Katie was on show number 9. That's before any of you people were on the show. So, yeah. So, back in 2016, Katie was a guest on the show. So, all right. So, people are going to ask Katie, number one, you've officially graduated again.
Yes. Finally.
So, finally. Yeah. It's like my son. He graduated from graduate school. It's like, all right, are we done now? Are we through with these? Are you done? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
For now.
For now.
No, I'm done.
She's finished. No more. So, did you get your second diploma yet? Have you already got it?
I did. Yes. Well, no, I don't have it framed because it's a weird size. But yeah, I did get it. I didn't believe it that I was actually going to get it because I didn't have an actual graduation. I didn't walk.
You didn't walk, right?
Yeah. So I was wondering if I was like, did I actually graduate?
Yeah. In case anybody goes like, our son didn't go through. We were gonna go, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna go."
Yeah, I didn't want to spend money.
Yeah, it's like once you graduate, like bachelors, you kind of It's like, I've been there.
Exactly.
So tell everybody, like what diner are you working at now? Are you waiting tables or no? What are you doing right now?
Well, it's a difficult question.
Right.
I'm job searching for sure, but I'm doing a lot of background acting. I guess that's what it's called, because Atlanta is a big hub for film and TV right now. So I'm just gonna ride that wave until I find a permanent position.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is background acting, is that like being an extra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For us non-movie stars, we don't always know those terms.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't even consider it acting because I just walk back and forth.
So I'm thinking, how much is it going to cost for you to be wearing a Geocaching Talk t-shirt while you're in the background of one of those TV shows or movies?
If costume approved it, I'd do it.
Just sneak it in somehow.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look.
Yeah.
Get a trackable code in like the next Mission Impossible movie.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
There you go.
Just sneak a hat in real quick.
Bad Boys 3.
That's right. So again, I've got questions that I'm going to ask for everybody, but talk a little bit about, and you've been talking about this on your vlogs. So in case people are wondering, Angie's still in charge of our blogs with a B. She's also our social media manager. She's the person we go to when we have Instagram or different questions. So
that's just because everybody younger than me and Gary is an expert. So.
Probably so, but
y'all are easily qualified.
Right. Zach is going to remain our man at the cache, and so we've got some plans for him. We can fit him in at various times doing man at the cache, but we've added 2 vloggers, and so we'll get to our second vlogger in a minute. But back to Katie for another comment. You've been doing this Georgia County challenge, and it has been great. I noticed, and actually your last vlog, you kind of talked about how you were like, what am I going to do now? And now you've been doing this for a little bit, but you actually kind of shared with everybody that you were kind of like wayward there for a moment. You were a wayward vlogger.
I still feel kind of like that, but I think the county challenge has helped a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think from from a person just viewing, I think that the Georgia County Challenge vlogs have been really good, and I think that we'll talk more about some of that a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm.
But just that it seems like you've really enjoyed, from our perspective watching it. It seems like that you've really enjoyed this process.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm discovering new things about Georgia and learning more history and driving a lot in my car.
Driving a lot, and also learning, some of us that are doing county challenges, a little bit of the pressure of, oh my gosh, I'm in this county and I can't find a cache.
Yeah. One of them in the middle of Georgia, I don't know which one, was really giving me a hard time, and I was about to leave and just give up. But
yeah,
you
but
never can trust them.
Right. But you found it, and you know, and so so far so good. Your
so far.
You're coming along good. But anyway, yeah, we've really enjoyed that, and some of the questions I have, we'll come back around. I'll do everybody's some questions. We'll ask the same questions. We'll ask everybody to answer some questions here in a minute. But
Okay.
Let's come back to you, and we'll come over to Jeff May. Cache the line, my friend.
Yep.
So rebranded.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been a good rebranding, don't you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think it fits the theme a lot better. I mentioned in the talking about the theme that we're all going from cache to cache. It's basically we're taking this line, and it's a journey, in a sense, through life from cache to cache. So I thought it would be a neat theme to run with.
Yeah, I think it's been really great, and we've I think most people know about you. Hopefully, people will get to know more of you and all of our network as time goes on, and hopefully, this will also give you viewers. That's part of this whole networking thing, is that this might give you some viewers that aren't familiar with you, and so I think this is a really good opportunity. Jeff was on our podcast of Hope, and it works out. We're now international. Geocache Talk Network is international. He's in Canada, and so because we always joke about with Angie and Zach that they're in Canada, but they're not quite in Canada. They're just in the Dakotas.
Just to hop over the border.
Yeah, they're close. They're close, but not quite.
Well, Jeff might be further south than Angie.
yeah, it's possible.
It's always possible to check out the latitudes, but you're in southern Ontario. Yep. And
it's definitely below that northernmost part of the U.S. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool though. And we have really enjoyed your vlogs, and just getting to know you and watching different vlogs and kind of hearing all the stories and some of your personal things that you've been through with your mom and everything has been inspirational, and it's been I've appreciated that you've done that you did that you and the whole Ironman thing was really I think was good, and I think that what you even mentioned on your vlogs, and I think the rest of us who watch, I think all feel that I know the change. If people don't know, Jeff kind of changed his whole name on there and changed got rid of the Iron Man, and he explained what the Iron Man was about and how it all came about. And I think that I think it worked out well. And I think you said it worked out well. So
yeah, and it wasn't so much that that's not really relevant anymore. It's kind of more of a technicality, and the fact that with all the videos I was putting out, they were all pretty much geocaching. So that really should be the primary theme of the name. But the inspiration, the underlying story, that's all still there. I still have information about what chasing the Iron Man means and everything. Just trying to stay away from that, kind of primarily from a legal standpoint, because Iron Man is a very tightly held trademark.
Yeah. means something. When I first saw it, before we even knew each other, my first thought was probably what everybody was thinking about, which is the Ironman triathlon. But but the challenge, it makes sense if you understand. So go watch all the Cache the Line videos. Go watch all Geocache and Katie videos.
Binge everything.
Watch all of them. You got a bit. I tell you, I'm serious. I think everybody should binge watch those for sure, because they're fantastic. I mean, and we'll talk about, like I said, why these two additions. We'll get to that a little bit. But so what?
Both
go ahead.
Both Jeff and Katie are in my top 20 geocaching vloggers to geocache with.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we'll take a little detour to Sioux Falls.
There you go. Yeah. Especially with Gigastock. Was that kind of when we were at Gigastock together?
Yeah, we all got to meet up, and it was a lot of fun. And
it was.
Had some chili fries.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Talk about that chili, man. Cincinnati chili. Oh. But it was fun. We had a great time there, though. That was kind of it's a different thing, but
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it really happened. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, well, I won't.
You were there, Jesse. You were nice. You were looking thin and fit.
Yeah, Flat Jesse can't eat. Flat Jesse couldn't eat the chili, so
yeah,
that's not fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's the new lineup. Like I said, we're gonna ask questions of everybody here in a second, but let's take a minute and just Jesse, I'll give you a chance to give some, maybe if there's questions also in the chat room, but also you and I kind of talk briefly about why are we doing what we're doing, and so I'll let you start, I guess.
So I guess, and I've been talking to the chat room, and somebody said, is it going to change now to the geocaching network and a lot of other things? And I think the idea behind the brand is while it did start as Geocache Talk, the podcast, Geocache Talk is a whole group of all of us, right? So we've always been about, we've kind of been pretty open about it from the very beginning, that we planned on hitting every type of media. We're going to not only cover, but explore every type of media, have good ambassadors from each type, and we're all a group together. This is none of our full-time jobs, unlike that lucky person we interviewed recently that just,
yes,
I mean, that's crazy, but most people in real life don't get to have this as their full-time job. We all have gravitated towards one aspect of geocaching and kind of getting that information out there, whether it's, vlogging, blogging, being on the move, doing what we're doing, writing books, doing this podcast. And we really look to assemble these people here, a great group of people that bring that positive attitude and that can really explore all the different aspects and what we call a brand. So the brand is Geocache Talk, and each of us have our own projects inside that, but it's all positive, family friendly, entertainment, all under, like if we could have our own Netflix network, we would have that, but we don't have that yet.
No.
So until we do that, we're just going to take over every aspect of geocaching out there, and with a common theme of we're all working together and we all have fun. We haven't quite all cached together yet, but we've almost all cached together. So we will before it's all over. So it is a brand in the fact that it's all positive geocaching aspects, and we want to keep expanding that. Geocaching is a big part of all of our lives, so we want to bring the good parts of that out there to everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's you said it very well, and that is Geocache Talk is not a podcast. Geocache Talk is an entire entertainment brand, and that's what we talked about before the show when we had a little meeting with the new network, and that is we want people to see all aspects of it, and if they don't, that's okay, because that means to us that Jesse and I are doing what we wanted to do, which is to build a brand. So, for example, if somebody may not even know about the Geocache Talk podcast, they love to read blogs. They're a blog reader. They're a writer / they read the blog. So they come to Geocache Talk, they read Angie's blog, and then Angie, of course, handles all the guests that we have. That she manages all that, but that means that's their exposure to Geocache Talk, and maybe they're not interested, And so the idea is that Geocache Talk can mean different things to different people, or they might be interested in all of it. But we want people to go, oh, Geocache Talk. Oh yeah, there's a couple of vloggers that are involved. They work on that. We've got a couple, so they might go watch these particular vloggers channels because of the channel of knowing about Geocache Talk. And we expect, hopefully, people will cross over into areas, and we'll talk about some of the areas that Jesse and I are working on here in a moment. But I did want to take a moment because I've actually got some messages from people who are like, well, how do we get involved in this? Like, hey.
Oh, we have the answer, and that's at the end of the show. Don't worry.
Well, we have that, yes. But what's funny is I think we've got people going, hey, how can I become the Geocache Talk Network? It's like, well, as much as we love all of y'all, Jesse and I picked, the people that we wanted to have, and because of many different reasons, but we love all the vloggers, and so we don't want it to feel like that we don't like other vlogs. We do, but we picked Jeff, we picked Katie for the reasons we picked them, which is they have some of the greatest quality of geocache vlogs that are out there. I mean, all of us can talk about how, they really are some of the best vloggers other than Joshua, but Joshua is sort of in a category of himself.
He'll always be a friend of his show, but he's doing a different thing.
Yeah. And Joshua, he'll be on the show periodically.
Oh yeah.
We love Josh. He's a good friend, but they bring different aspects of vlogging that means a lot to us, and really is really indicative of the brand that we're building. And it's not just one little aspect. Jess and I really went through and looked at a lot of qualities of a lot of different vloggers, and so it wasn't like Jeff's in Canada, let's pick him. He's in Canada. That's good enough. It wasn't one thing. There was 30 things of and they were the top of that whole group. So that's really the really reason why. In case somebody wants to know, and I want people to realize that we didn't pick them for one reason. We picked them for, like I said, 36 reasons why. And they were the two that really stood out to us and really was where we wanted to take Geocache Talk as a brand. So that's why. And you'll get to know more over time. And so that really was important to us. So as far as the podcast, we've come a long way. We're not going to do it tonight, but at some point, Jesse, I think people would be interested to learn more about, where we are. We have really expanded exponentially. Is that a way to put it?
That's eloquent, Gary. That's
we have grown exponentially. I'm trying to.
There you go. That'll
use
work.
The proper words. We've grown exponentially, and so we have some great numbers right now, and someday we'll share them. We don't have time tonight, but we're seeing really incredible numbers.
Yeah, and you're talking about, and specifically the podcast. So that one part of the network we're talking about. Some things are going to change with that, but a lot of that's going to stay the same, right? We're still going to focus on the deeper aspects of geocaching. We're not going to become an intro show or anything like that because there's a different place for that. We're always going to have people on, and we're going to balance that having people on and great guests with good discussions and the debates. We love doing those too, and those usually people respond well to those. Ammo can versus micro, that kind of stuff. We're going to keep that general format. We're still going to hit the podcast of hope every year. We're going to give something back.
Absolutely. Yep.
And we're always going to, like we talked about before the show, and something we're going to talk about later. We're always going to try new things.
Yes.
We're never going to be afraid to fail. We're always going to try new things, expecting that most of them should go well and some of them won't go well.
Right.
So, but that's what's fun about it, right? We're going to try those experiments and we're going to keep trying bigger things because they're fun. Games within a game. So, as far as just the podcast part of the whole network that we're talking about tonight, that's kind of the direction we're going to continue to go on with that.
Yeah, and that's very, very much our aspect of, and that's something I think what we want people to remember about Geocache Talk is that we're not going to do the same thing. We're not doing the same old. We're going to the podcasts are always changing, hopefully, and we're bringing you great entertainment from a podcasting perspective. We're going to continue to explore avenues in that area, but we're also expanding. A couple areas, and I want to get back to everybody and ask some good questions here in a moment. But to sort of wrap up on this part of it, we've got a store that we're working on. We got some great ideas for merchandise. That's going to be coming into play. We're going to have some of that at Geo Woodstock, but we're also going to try to really work on bringing that to you as soon as we can. But we want to do the store the proper way, and so we're working on that. Working with Jesse Tuttle and working with different people on how to do a proper merchandise store. We're working on books. Like I mentioned, I'm updating the 201 book. Jesse's got a book that he's worked feverishly. Hopefully done with.
It's a 2-person book because the CFO is helping me co-author this one. It's a lot of fun to do too.
That's awesome. That we're hoping to get both books ready to go for Geo Woodstock, so that'll be your first opportunity, and then from there on, obviously they'll be available. But I mean, we're really trying to get a deadline of getting that done. So
we'll have them there at Woodstock.
Yep, that's the plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got the GC World card game is coming along. I'm hoping to have that completed in time again. I'm gonna bring several copies of it to Geo Woodstock. Patrons are going to have an opportunity to play the game ahead of time. We're going to have because I need test players. We did one test, but we want to do another test once the cards are completed, and that's getting close. We're going to redo the website a little bit, make it a little more friendly for everybody to use, kind of update it. That's something that Jesse and I are committed to. So, there's always stuff we're doing with that. So that's cool. All right. So I want to come back and ask everybody a couple questions because I want to get everybody's feedback and kind of, give people an opportunity to answer a couple of these questions I had, because I thought it'd be fun to kind of ask now that we have this new network. A couple questions. So one is going back to social media, because social media, of course, Jesse has to deal with it from a whole different perspective, being in security. But from the rest of our perspective, outside of having to deal with from the school security side of it that Jesse has to deal with, what do you think are you seeing the most growth in as far as for geocaching social media? Do you guys think? And I'll just throw it out to the whole group. So anybody wants to mention. Not everybody wants.
One at a time. First, because you're younger than Gary and I, so you have
one
to
at a time.
Not everybody at one time.
Angie?
I think just from my own experience, I feel like everyone might like different things, right? But I think Instagram's probably one of the bigger ones that I've seen.
Oh, the gram.
Because I know, like, people younger than me, they don't have Facebook anymore. So, I mean, matters where you fit. I think a lot of people maybe in North Dakota are on Facebook. you know.
Right. Because
You know
they're
what I mean?
old.
No, but I know that's where they connect. Like North Dakota,
Yeah.
they connect on Facebook. And
You know, what's funny about Facebook is that when people started getting on Facebook, they're like, "Oh, all these old people, y'all need to go away because this is for college kids. College kids, this is for college kids." And then now it's the other way around. It's like, "Oh, all you old people, y'all stay on Facebook. We don't want you anymore on our stuff." So
That's funny.
I would say
go
I
ahead.
think the most active daily community I've ever seen is probably might be a geocacher if on Facebook.
Yeah.
That the thing with Instagram is you're following a few individuals that are posting, and then hopefully you have, like, I think a lot of people might have a geocaching Instagram and a personal Instagram separately. And so their geocaching one probably has a feed where you see everybody's, but like you might be a geocacher is kind of, that's like my first source to look at.
So
there.
more as far as groups, you're talking about instead of just Facebook in a general sense.
Yeah.
Facebook as far as groups.
Yeah.
Groups of Facebookers. Facebookers? Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's not a good name for it. I don't.
No, groups of people on Facebook. Is that, Katie? Does that make what you're thinking?
Yeah, I've found that too. There's a couple groups I belong to, like Atlanta area geocachers, and that seems to be where people are like, collaborating and say, "Hey, I'm going to this cache. Does anybody want to come with me?"
Right.
Yeah.
It's much more personal and connected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
especially for those local regional groups.
I haven't been on Facebook as much lately, just because a lot of those groups get a little angry at each other, and people post a lot of weird stuff, and that annoys me or whatever. And I like the pictures that are on Instagram. Now, how old does that sound? But I like looking at the pictures.
It sounds like you're 3.
or
either way, I'm either
or
really
63.
young or really old with that. But
right.
We're going to Hawaii for the first time this summer, and one of the first things I did was jump on and got on Facebook and said, "Where's the Hawaii geocaching group?" And I'm joined that group so I can connect with those people.
Yep.
It's kind of harder to do on Instagram or some of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Same with Iceland. When I took that trip to Iceland, there is an Iceland Facebook group. It's pretty small, but posted there to see if there was anybody I could connect with for an event and stuff. So it's helpful.
Great caches in Iceland, aren't there?
So going back, it's unbelievable.
Incredible.
The earth caches there are a second to none.
Half the caches there are earth caches.
Yeah. Jesse, you'd love it.
Yeah. Woo! Jesse's been publishing earth caches like crazy.
Yeah, I published my 10th one recently.
Wow, you've outdone. I only have 2.
10 earth caches. It's incredible.
I know. I tell you what, if I can find any place to publish one when I go to Hawaii, I'm going to publish one down there too.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of them there
got an
already.
idea.
I managed to get one earth cache published as a 5-1, so 5 difficulty, 1 terrain. When it was published, there were no other 5-1s in the world, earth caches.
Oh, wow.
So somehow it's like, how do I make a 5 difficulty earth cache? Like,
but
what
a
kind of
1 terrain.
So it's just in my local park next to my house. It's just like it's a whole lot of like difficult questions. There's a volume estimation thing, a lot of math, some research involved. Just drop all the questions on there, make it a 5 terrain. But yeah, just follow the trail around. It's wheelchair accessible.
That is awesome.
Zach, you had something you were gonna.
Yeah, it's time for the trackable intermission, brought to you by Sodak Zach.
No, he's gonna share his trackable.
This is my little zipper pull that I just got from Gary about a couple of weeks ago, and the code, get your pens out, is GTBQYW, and I want you to send your best geocaching pun with your log.
Oh no!
I love it.
That would be great.
Awesome. All right, so let me ask the group. We're going to switch gears a little bit off of social media because we have 2 vloggers, but everybody's kind of either been, Zach's did some vlogging, and we've all kind of been either watch it or we've tried to do some ourselves. But where do you feel, and this is mostly for the vloggers, but everybody can chime in as we go. But where do you feel that vlogging is? Where geocaching specifically? Because I don't want to talk about blogging, across the whole gamut. But as far as just geocaching vlogs, how do you think they're changing and evolving, either for the good or maybe for the not so good?
I think over the last year, there's been a whole lot of channels popping up. I think it's getting pretty popular to vlog your general geocaching experiences, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you get to see a whole lot of the types of caches that people are finding, whether they're like super creative or just run of the mill stuff. But you're kind of more connecting with the people in that sense. You get to know them naturally.
So. And we'll get to y'all's specific ones here in a minute because I want to ask you about those. But just the ones that you watch. So, like you said, there are a lot of new ones. What of the people that are out there that you tend to watch on a more consistent basis? How do you feel that they're from a viewer perspective? Because we can always ask them what they're looking at, what their plan is. But from your perspective, how do you feel that they are evolving? Not just Joshua, but others that you watch. Do you feel like they're all evolving the same way, or are they evolving? And you don't have to give names if you think some are evolving poorly, but I mean, well, how do you feel like they're changing?
I could kind of allude to why I kind of slowed down or stopped doing the vlogs.
Right.
It was mainly because I love shooting them and being in front of a camera and doing weird stuff, which I think Man at the Cache. Now that it's going to be lighter out during some of our shows here, I can get back out in the field. But I actually don't like the editing side of it. I'm not very good at it. I don't have any of the cool software, so I'm just using the basic free stuff. Now, soon I might just invest in getting that and play around with it, and maybe I'll get back into it then. But I see the high quality that others are able to put out there, and I think it's great, and I think they're doing a great job. And I think for myself, I tend to be better at more of the live, just roll with it as you go type of thing. So live streaming might be more of where I go. The problem is on YouTube live streams, you have to get to a certain number of subscribers and everything to get to that.
Maybe Periscope. We haven't even talked about Periscope.
I got pretty
Instagram.
Popular on Periscope for a while. And then
or Instagram Live.
I was going to mention Periscope as one of the other social media ones that's up and coming.
I was actually, when Periscope first came up, the first 2 weeks it was up, I was in the top 20 because they had a leaderboard.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And you jumped on that, kind of like Vine. How far did you get on Vine, man? You had a lot of
1 million views.
Yeah.
On Reddit, I'm about to pass 1 million upvotes on there too. But that's not Reddit. Geocaching on Reddit is dead.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah. But it's funny. If you share it to non-geocaching subreddits, some of the caches, that creepy clown one I found in the culvert.
Right.
If you just share that picture and not talk about it as a geocache, just as a creepy clown you found in the sewers, people are like, "What is that? Where is that?" And it's I'm not telling you.
I cannot keep up with all the changes. I'm sorry. It's Vine now and Twitter and
everything.
Vine's gone.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Vine's dead.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know Vine was dead.
All right.
Yeah, it was born, grew. Zach got to 1 million views, died 3 years ago. They literally shut it down, and you didn't know about it.
You killed it.
Actual Vine, yeah.
I mean, Snapchat, is that still a thing? Snapchat?
No.
No.
At least not for my circle. Not for.
Right.
Yeah.
Snapchat is still really popular, but I don't see how you would do much geocaching stuff on it.
No, it doesn't really fit.
The content's going to disappear too quickly, and it's only going to be personal stuff anyway. So
yeah.
So, as far as and as we start to wrap up tonight, so I give each of the vloggers a chance to kind of comment. Where do you see your? And we talked a little bit. Katie talked a little bit about hers, but where do you see your vlogs kind of evolving into, or how do you feel, or how have they changed maybe recently, or where do you see your vlogs kind of going? Hopefully somewhere. Well, you know what I mean.
Do you want me to go?
Well, do you want to, Gary? Do you want to hit the news for a second? Give them a second to
I guess that's
formulate
good.
thoughts, and we'll hit the news real quick because we don't have a lot, and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Think
It gives everybody a chance to think through it and make up their lives. I mean, their plan, and get it ready.
Right.
All right. Play the Jeopardy music while we think.
That's
Okay.
right.
Right. Okay.
That'll definitely get us sued.
Okay, real quick. Geocaching announced today, and this was, I guess, a couple days ago, that the website for lab caches has been retired. All lab caches will now be played via the app, which means that geocaching at GeoWoodstock, the lab caches will be app only. And I want to make a quick comment, and then Jesse, we're going to ask you. We're going to ask you about lab caches, but I got into sort of I stay away from these on Facebook, but somehow I got dragged into this heated argument about logging lab caches, and I had some people obviously who were on my side a little bit, which was helpful. But I said I am all for this, and because if you're familiar with lab caches at all, the minute that they would post a series of lab caches at a mega, they're done. They'd somebody from Germany or somewhere, Czechoslovakia, wherever they are, they would log them. They'd be done because they were guessing. They were just guessing the answers, and they'd be done. It'd be like 5 minutes in, and they're all done. It's like, well, that's not fun. Nobody, you kind of want the people that are at the event to be the top 10, because
not the armchair loggers.
No, and those armchair logging was so now you can't armchair log. Well, a few people on Facebook, I won't mention their names, but they were all up in arms about this because they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have a smartphone, and I always log these later on, and this is terrible, and the world's coming to an end, and blah blah blah." And so I was like, I tried to be semi-tactful, but then kind of snarky a little bit at the same time. It's like you realize that like 95% of North America has a smartphone, and 2.9 billion people in the world have a smartphone. It's like, if you're geocaching.com, are you going to cater to the 0.001% that don't have a smartphone? I mean, I didn't get all that. So anyway.
Well, and why, like, you can still do the lab cache, or do you have to have a smartphone?
You have to have the app.
You have to have a smartphone.
Gotcha.
Or you could have your laptop in the area, right?
Yeah.
That would work.
Well,
drag your
It's got GPS on the laptop.
So, Gary, I wasn't involved in that argument, but you can guess what my opinion is on that. And I'm going to keep it a little reserved because this is a friendly podcast. But guess what? There's a lot of things you can't do with the GPS anymore. There's some aspects of where I goes that you can't do. AR caches. I don't think there's an AR module on a GPS. No. Intercaches. You can't do those on a GPS. There are parts of the game you can't do with a GPS. You can't find, not everybody can find everything. So to downgrade something because you specifically don't cache that way, that's a terrible negative vibe to add to the game. People should be open to it. If you don't like one, don't do it. You know what I mean? There's some things I don't like. I don't do them. Yeah. But don't downgrade something because it doesn't fit into your caching style.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was just going to say the trade-off is now that being an app-only thing, they're locking it down to try to reduce the amount of cheating and armchair logging, location locking, so you have to be nearby as an option. The person who creates the lab cache can still turn that off, so it could be done anywhere, but at least now there's a little more security in that sense.
Right.
Well, I wonder, too, how many, not necessarily the people you were fighting with, but, like, how many people are upset because now they can't armchair log?
Yeah. There'll be plenty of those. They'll be mad.
Yeah, I think there's more people mad about that than are mad that they don't have a cell phone, because I'm willing to bet they have a cell phone. there's a pretty good chance that a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't have a smartphone now? I mean,
or have someone they know that has one that they could do one cache in the entire area.
Right.
Yeah. Buy them
what about a chirp?
Pizza.
Chirps are still out there.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do those.
First, I think if you really want to log that lab cache, you can find somebody with a smartphone, log them out, log you into their phone on the app, and then do it yourself to log it.
Yeah, and you need to be really careful how you're logged in, because if you go out to a lab cache, Jesse,
I'll tell the bonehead story. So
tell the story.
I wanted to go out and find. There's a series of 10 new lab caches that came out in South Denver, which is about 60 miles from my house, through Denver. I had an opportunity to go out and find them this weekend. The new the new Adventure Labs app. So I get down there early in the morning, go through all 10, and I was texting Gary along the way and going, aren't these supposed to show up as lab caches on your profile? I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
I get to the end. I've done 10 of them and nothing happens. We go get some coffee because I left from my house at like 5 a.m, went by the airport, and then started on these things, because it takes over an hour to get to the area of them. Nothing was happening. I sat there and I waited. I was getting pretty frustrated. I was like, this stupid app doesn't work. These all suck. I don't like this.
You sound so old.
I'm looking at it. I even emailed the owner because I know the owner. And I was like, don't these count as lab caches? What's going on with this? He goes, yeah, man, they really should have worked by now. I don't know. Let me go check and see what's going on. So I don't know. I think Gary said something. He goes, yeah, it works. Here's my picture.
I sent a photo.
He showed me his picture. I looked back at the picture on mine. My wife had my wife's account was logged in. I don't know. We must have opened it up or whatever. But it was her. But her picture is of an account that she never uses, is the same pretty much as my picture. So I never noticed it. I did all these lab caches. None of them counted.
Well, they counted on her. They counted her account.
Yeah, they counted on hers, but hers
she'll use her account.
She uses to log, will attends for events and stuff like that.
So are you willing to tell everybody what you did?
Oh yeah. So
he cheated.
I emailed the owner and I said, "Here's what I did."
No, that's the thing. You can't cheat. You can't log them again.
He goes, "Oh, that is terrible," because he knows me and he knows, And we were talking about. I was like, "You did a great job, but I messed them up or whatever." He goes, "Okay, I'm going to open it up and just for a short period of time see if I can make the range of it 62 miles or 600 million meters or whatever. I don't know what it was." Something.
I don't think you have the right to.
He doesn't. So we found out that you can't do that. He goes, I'll try it and I'll put it right back. It didn't work, right? Because I was within 20 miles still of him. And that doesn't work. He goes, you know what? He goes, this probably won't work, but why don't you test it for me? I'm here on the other end so we can find out if anything goes wrong. He goes, download one of those fake your GPS location things and see if that'll work. It didn't work. None of the ones that I downloaded worked on the iPhone. Now, granted, I'm not a hacker, right? So these are commercially available things. I'm sure if I had a black trench coat and sunglasses and drank Mountain Dew all day long, I could find a way to hack in a computer and do it. But I wasn't able to do that. So they have some stuff built in protection to stop some of that arm sharing stuff. Now, I am absolutely sure there are some programs out there that you can cheat. But they're not easily available through the App Store and stuff. And if they were, I wouldn't say what they were anyway, right? Because I'm not helping somebody arm share them. But there are some protections built in. Now, luckily, that day was drop somebody off at the airport, cache them all, and then pick somebody up at the airport. It just happened to be picking up the CFO, and I told her the whole story, and she was like, "You're an idiot, and I can't believe you've done that." But she knew I was going to complain and whine until we did it, so we went back and did them all again.
Did them all again.
So it works, and I've done 20. I get credit for 10, but I've done 20. I've been to 20 lab caches now.
Perfect.
But I will say that the app worked perfectly. If you're logged into the right account, it works perfectly.
It works perfectly.
It works instantly. But just don't be an idiot and actually log into the right account.
I can't not be an idiot.
I know. I can't either. I keep doing it. I've got multiple books I can fill up with idiot stories, and one of them's almost done. So
I'll write the forward.
That's awesome. The forward.
So anyway, the new app works great.
Yep, it does. All right. Snag the tag update from Geocache Talk perspective.
So we talked about this a little bit before the show. We're not going to get big into Snag the Tag. It's a promotion that's going on right now. It looks pretty cool. We got a show coming up where we're going to get into all the details. But we got to hide one for Geocache Talk, and it has been found. It was just found this weekend. And it was actually found by a patron. So we'll get to bring the full story of that coming on. If you don't know what Snag the Tag is, go check that out. There may be one hidden in your area. And we're going to have one of the reviewers and go through a full review of that coming up in an upcoming show.
Yeah. I'm
pretty excited about that. And that's a pretty neat little
Did you enjoy it?
Find hunt game, I guess.
Yeah.
Quick way to summarize it.
Did you enjoy hiding? Now, Jeff, did you hide one too? Have you hid one?
I didn't hide one. Joshua hid one, and I can't remember if he found one, but I did do a live stream going to be the first to find one in Ontario.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we'll have a whole show on it, Jesse. But did you enjoy the process of hiding it?
Yeah, it was fun and real similar in like how you kind of hide it and the reviewer process and some of that stuff. So we'll get into it, but it'll be a real
complimentary,
really intuitive. You could figure it out pretty quick. If you're a geocacher, you will jump into this game and have a head start already.
Yeah. We're gonna do a show with the reviewer.
Oh, did any of you guys see the Game of Thrones geocaching with the throne?
The first time I went to that site to look, the first throne that I saw was the one that's in that tundra. It's just a vast white field. Like, how is anybody possibly going to find this?
Yep.
It's crazy. They don't give any hints or anything, just a picture.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
They took a picture of a throne at 6 or 8 different locations, and then if you found it,
you found it. Yep. You want it. Yep. Because there's no second to find in Snag the Tag. It's just first to find, and that's it.
Yep.
Go for a different one.
Some people catch that way anyway.
Yep.
So it's very important once you find a tag to report it as claimed. If somebody goes searching and there's nothing there, they could be even more upset.
Oh my gosh! But isn't that the same with actual geocaching?
I did that when I found my Snag the Tag.
There's a whole nother show right there we can talk about. Geocache etiquette 2. We need to have another one.
Yes, we'll add that in. Yeah. Jesse's going to be on. Is it tonight's podcast?
I don't know exactly when this one's going to be on, but we taped an episode of Podcaster, and it's all about where I goes. And when that one does come out, obviously we're talking about the show and stuff like that too, but we're talking about another experiment we're going to do on this show. We mentioned it on there.
Okay.
So go check that one out on Podcaster and hear about the experiment that we're going to do upcoming on this show.
Yep. Which we're going to talk about here in a minute because we're going.
No, not that experiment. The other experiment.
Oh, the Where I Go experiment. Yeah. We got a Where I Go experiment. We're going to do on that down sometime in the early summer.
Summertime.
Yeah, early summer. Geo Woodstock. Just a quick note: go log your will attend if you have any possibility that you might be going. Katie and. I know Jeff's going,
and all your other accounts that you have. No.
No.
Yeah, all the Talk Puppet accounts.
No, none of those.
Even if you're not going, no.
Not hear that. But if you're thinking about going, log a will attend. You might attend. So
Jesse needs a Giga icon. Just saying, Jesse needs a Giga icon.
Actually, no. Nobody log any more will attends then.
Oh.
Yeah, that's cruel.
So mean.
Jeff's making the drive down. Katie's still. You're kind of like up in the air still, right?
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay. All right.
Jeff, just swing by and pick Katie up on the way down. It's not out of your way at all.
Right. I don't think that's Ontario to. Although I've flown something like that before.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to fly to Boston by going through Florida, but that's another story. All right, we won't talk about Cache Carnival because I don't really care about Cache Carnival.
Brutal honesty from Gary.
No, it's Cache Carnival.
Souvenirs, kids.
Is I don't know. Well, I'll let everybody else comment on it. I mean, I won't. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to be negative. Okay. I'm shutting up. Cache Carnival. Tell us how great Cache Carnival is, everybody.
I like the theme. I like the idea that they're trying to do with this one because they're bringing attention to favorite points and trying to get people to find cool caches or cool locations, that sort of thing. I think that's great. Implementation. I think other souvenir promotions have had slightly better implementations. So I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's not the worst.
I think where they're at now with souvenirs is like keep doing these just to keep, there's something to change and something to change up your caching style and try new things.
Yeah.
But and something I could talk about when we're kind of talking about what we see with our vlogs or our social media stuff moving forward. I'll talk a little further about that, but I'd just like to see more actual tangible things happen outside of just virtual rewards that they have a couple meetings on. They could have a couple meetings on, come up with the idea, the graphics, and the code, and then send it out. What's some stuff they could really do to kind of excite the community.
Right.
I would say the promotion itself is in line with the other ones they've done. The part I really like about this one is that they're finding a way to reward cache owners.
Yeah,
that they haven't really done in the past, and I really like that aspect. It needs some more work, and they need to do more with it. And I really do hope they continue on because they're really improving these promotions. They're better than they were in the past for sure.
They are.
One of the things I noticed as well is there's a lot of people kind of I won't say joking, but kind of bringing up the fact that I already got these souvenirs and I didn't have to do anything because they got them from favorite points. I'm like, well, that's still a good thing because you put out caches that people
you did do something. You just
you're reaping the rewards of something you did a year ago, or
right.
Yep.
I do like the cache owner part. The fact that because cache owners tend to be sort of on the. They never get any. They're like the Rodney Dangerfield of geocaching. For you young people, Rodney Dangerfield means that they get no respect. So
they should always be finding a way to reward cache owners.
I've heard Rodney Dangerfield 3 times in my entire lifetime. 2 of those times are in the last 24 hours.
Wow.
I don't know.
You are young.
What's in the water?
I tell you, I used to love seeing Rodney Dangerfield on Tonight Show, but then I'm old. I just proved how old I am by saying all those things together. All right. So Jesse.
So in non-geocaching related news, just because I know that the CFO and my other daughter who's out in Vegas and my other daughter who's in the house right now is listening.
Right.
I have to say that I have officially clinched my March Madness family bracket. I won. Y'all all lost. Just so you hear that. Okay. Now we can move back on.
The love.
I'm getting the evil eye, but it's okay. I don't care.
Evil eye. That's right. Okay. Quick note, and then we'll get back to our questions, and then. So
you can't talk.
Leave Christy alone. Christy can talk all she wants.
Hey, she picks on me enough. I get to pick on her this time because I'm winning.
Yeah. So last week we did giveaway prizes. We gave some Project GC prizes away. This week, the winner of last week, when we had this thing, people sent in their answers to the AR question. When the answer was March 6th was the answer, and the winner. Random.org selected Brandon Plot. So Brandon won. Congratulations, Brandon. You get a year Project GC subscription for him. I think it was an extension. So
put that to good use.
Yeah, so put that to good use. We'll do another Project GC show later on, and we're gonna do more Cache Tour .no shows because they're really cool, and I've learned some really cool stuff I want to share with everybody. So, all right, we're gonna get back to the question for the 2 vloggers, and also Jesse, did you want to an item, or you want to do that after the questions?
We'll do it real fast because if we don't, I'll never shut up about it because I'm excited about it.
All right, go ahead and talk about it.
Because we're not going to talk about it. It's for another show, but we have a patron show coming up, and we're going to need some help. We're doing our newest promotion, which is going to be our biggest promotion. The Stash Hunt was just in the U.S. This next thing is going to be international, also in the U.S., and way more extreme with a lot of aspects to it, but we're going to need some help.
Canada, right, Jeff? Canada?
Yeah. All the people on the panel tonight know what's going on, but everybody else doesn't know yet. So there's very few people that know what's going on with this. We're going to really get into the details and discuss this because we're going to need help. This is way too big for us to do on our own, but we're going to need help hiding. We're going to need help planning. We're going to need some graphic artists type people that have skills that we don't have, some cache builders, some web page builders, and some help designing a big prize that we can't mention live right now. But this one's going to be big. It's going to involve our international partners. It's going to involve an extreme launch once it happens and a bunch of leaderboards, but you don't get to find out right now.
I think
we have to keep something secret because it's going to be a big patron show. We'll announce when it's going to be. It won't be on a normal time slot. We're going to have it coming up, and then we'll give all the details, but we want to build this. This is going to be built from the patrons here, and is going to be something for the geocaching world. So it should be, again, like we said earlier, it should be a huge success or a huge flop, one of the two. But it should be, it should make its mark on geocaching the whole game everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to say about it now, because if not, we'll have another 2 hours of show. But really soon we'll announce that. Everybody on this panel and then the patrons, we're going to get together and we're going to really come up with this, and we're going to get it done. It's going to be big. Can't even say what the name of it is yet.
I'm really excited for the prize, which is a 10-foot tall flat Jesse face.
Yeah. Oh,
people will be competing to not get that.
You ruined the prize. The prize is the big flat Jesse. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
So
no, we joked around and said, we always joke around saying stuff for another show, and we told people that the stash hunt was going to be big, and we were telling the truth there, and we told you this is going to be bigger, and it's going to be bigger. This is going to be huge.
And I'm only going to say one thing. I'm going to give away anything else.
I'm
going to give away anything. I know. I'm always scared. Always scared Jesse when I say that. I'm just going to make one comment, and that is, no matter what country you're in that listens to the show, and we've got people in 64 countries, something like that. So whatever country you're in, regardless of whatever country you're in, you're going to be involved if you want to be. You
have a chance to participate.
Yeah, you have a chance to participate in the show, no matter where you are in the world. Everyone
will have equal opportunity because it's going to be on Mars, and it's first one to get it.
Oh man, don't ruin the Mars trip.
We're launching our own satellite.
Oh my gosh.
No, but this one will be
okay.
There'll be aspects for everybody in this one.
Yes.
Different things for everybody, no matter what style of caching. So and then we got to stop. We got to stop and get back to everybody else.
We're adding the international. I'm excited we're adding the international part. All right. So back to Katie and Jeff as we wrap up tonight. So tell us a little bit about where you're going or what you're still. I know Katie's working on Georgia, so tell us about what you're involved with right now on your vlogs.
Do you want me to? I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead, Katie.
So right now I'm doing the Georgia County Challenge. I'm trying to find a geocache in every county. I think I looked. I have 38 out of 159, so I have a long way to go.
That's fine though. Makes for great vlogs.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Bacon County. I think I'm gonna go all out for that one for sure.
Oh, Bacon
County.
I'm already in. Bacon County sounds awesome.
Yeah, you had me at Bacon.
Yeah,
that's right.
You're gonna eat bacon at every cache, right?
Yeah. There might be costumes involved. I don't know.
Oh yes.
Oh, Katie in a bacon costume. I want to see that.
In a bacon costume, dancing to Grease.
Yeah.
Grease. Now you're talking.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You're ruining the vlog already. That's all secret. She had all that planned out already.
Yeah.
No,
so that's what I'm working on now. It's helped me get a little more direction because I was kind of getting a little tired of it. It felt a little monotonous. I felt like I was making the same video over and over again. So yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I mentioned they're great. You do great vlogs, but yeah, I like the fact that you got sort of something you're headed for.
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Jeff.
Well, I personally for the vlogging, I really like doing more like storytelling types of adventures, and so in a sense, I do appreciate the promotional periods that geocaching makes because it kind of gives a little prompting of some kind of baseline to create a story or a sequence or a series or something. Because like in that sense, I've also still got to finish my hidden creatures. Because I mean, that was a souvenir promo from last year that I mean, you're just basically finding a whole bunch of caches, but the theme behind it, like the feel, all of that stuff, I think really played well for telling stories. And I think they could have done a lot more with that, because they basically created characters for all these different creatures. But I mean, it was just a design thing, and they had swag and paraphernalia to sell, which is a good idea. But so from a vlogging standpoint, I'm like, okay, I got to run with this and create this ongoing story. I'm barely halfway through. So I have all these videos sitting in the queue to edit and finish. So I've got to finish that. That's coming up. But then there's this current promotion, the Cache Carnival, which I mentioned in chat that my goal is to find 10 caches with 50 plus points. So basically maxing out the challenge, trying to get that last one legitimately. And it's really easy, because those caches with that many favorite points, there really aren't too many. They're pretty spread out. So trying to do that within the, 2.5 weeks of the promotion.
Yeah.
There's one in Sioux Falls.
That's true.
I got a place for you to stay.
Get your cache tour figured out, because it's kind of, on the line, because you're coming out of Geo Woodstock. Because that's the other thing is, if you come to Geo Woodstock, you've got a whole set of videos you can kind of create, in a sense, or at least a couple, 2 or 3 you could create.
Yeah, Geo Woodstock is going to be a series.
Yeah. So you got lots of series. You got to get on it, man. Yeah. Get those vlogs put out. Get them edited. Get them out there.
Life and time. It's so hard to get the time to do all this editing. Like Zach said, editing is a big task. You got to find time. You got to sit down and dedicate hours to it to make sure that you got what you want. And it's tough sometimes.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think just kind of bringing up a point I brought out earlier, something that I'm working on. I'm hoping that I can get a few others on board with the idea to help me do it. But no matter what, I'm moving forward with it. Is I wanted to find a way to like incentivize in a meaningful way good things in geocaching. And the first thing I've thought of is I looked it up, and worldwide there's 48 cache owners that have gotten over 10,000 favorite points.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And so I was thinking of we're vloggers, and we're aware of the YouTube reward system for subscriber levels, how they send bronze, silver, and gold plaques to when you hit certain subscriber levels. Right. And so what I'm looking at doing is making this really nice big gold geocoin to send to people that have achieved or gotten 10,000 favorite points on their caches.
That's cool.
And just sort of as a thank you for what you did to geocaching. It's at no cost to them. It's sent to them out of thanks.
A gift.
And I think that's a meaningful way. And I'm hoping I can convince Geocaching HQ to help out with that, or work on that, or at least put their name behind it, or write something in the letter towards them. But the idea is just get it to them. It's a meaningful thank you, and then it's something that people that are close can start to work towards. Oh, hey, if I maybe hide a few more quality ones, I could get that. YouTubers are motivated. So that's something that I'm working on, and I'm starting to really look at what are some big meaningful things in geocaching that we could do that help inspire. Because I really like this unicorn farts one. It was kind of silly and funny, but a lot of people liked a fresh new idea like that, and that's really motivated the CO side of me to work harder on that and make South Dakota a destination.
There you go. Perfect.
So YouTube's reward is that big play button. Yep. What's yours going to be? A big heart for the favorite point?
Yeah,
or that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm open to design, so that's what I'm looking for input on. I just know that I want to work with a coin maker, get a design, and then get it funded via myself and some others. If anyone wants to, if that's something people are interested in, reach out to me. But I'm looking for it not to involve the COs that earned it to pay for it. Right. And not specifically necessarily Geocaching HQ either, unless they're above and beyond willing to. Because I know the best way to get something shut down is if you're like, hey, I have this great idea, it costs you money.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, cool. Well, thanks, Zach. All right, we wrap up tonight. One thing I want to mention is that we are going to add Katie and Jeff's vlogs to our website, to geocachetalk.com. So if you want to, and we'll have them mention where you can get theirs as well. But if you ever wonder where to find them, you can go to geocachetalk.com and go to vlogs, and Katie and Jeff, of course, will be there. So all right, quickly go around. So Katie, tell us where people can find your vlogs.
Oh, I'm Geocaching Katie on YouTube, and then everything, all the other social medias, is Geocaching Katie. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Jeff?
Same sort of thing. Cache the Line on YouTube. I have a domain set up, cachetheline.net, to quickly go there easily. Twitter, Cache the Line. Instagram, I still use my geocaching name, so the Bruce Zero on Instagram. I do have a Cache the Line placeholder set up there, but it directs over to there. That's another one of those like personal / geocaching accounts.
Yeah,
it's primarily geocaching. Yeah, Facebook, Cache the Line.
Cool. And Jesse, final thoughts, and then we're going to wrap up because we're getting late.
I look forward to what we have in store. We're building a great team here. That everybody brings a really good positive energy and quality aspect to geocaching, and I can't wait to continue working on some of the projects that we already know about that aren't announced, and hopefully getting to personally cache with every one of you that I haven't already cached with so far.
Yep, that's awesome. Yes, upcoming shows. Again, there's a show on Wednesday. Patrons, remember, I'll send out the link to the patrons on how to watch live WV Tim talk about the new Geo Tour, and you can be involved, obviously, in the chat room like we normally do. Geo Woodstock will be a show the next week, or this coming Sunday. We're going to talk about Geo Woodstock with Dee and Tom, show 143. In 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I get it in 3 shows away in 2 weeks. On April 14th, we're going to bring back a show we were going to do, and we switched it around, but we're going to do a show called "It Remains a Mystery." It's about unknown cache, the unknown geocache type, but not puzzles. So we're going to talk about, we might mention puzzles, but we're going to talk about what you can do with the question mark, the old question mark geocache. Mm-hmm. What are some other ideas? And some of the ones that Jesse and I have done that I think I've found that I found to be very interesting. Some ideas, instead of just going, I'm not a puzzle cache person, but I kind of like to hide some of those mystery caches, but what can I do? And so we're going to talk about that. Oh, yeah. And then in 3 weeks, Jesse's going to be in South Dakota. Mm-hmm. And we have, with old Zach up there.
Yeah, hopefully getting unicorn farts.
Hopefully getting that one. I'm sure you can find it. If not, I know the CO, so I'll let you get in touch with him.
Yeah, it might be under owner's maintenance and
you might. Oh, that'd be funny if he's gonna archive it. No,
you don't get a giga. You don't get unicorn farts.
Oh, that's terrible.
You don't get to check it off in your new book.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's gonna be terrible. You can't archive it yet. But in 3 weeks, I have a guest host with me. It's Derek Baker of Behind the Cache, who's going to be with me. We're going to talk about gadgets galore, and what you can do if you want to do a gadget cache and you feel like, I can't do a gadget cache because I'm not West Virginia Tim, or I just can't do something like that. Derek and I are going to talk about how you can do a gadget cache of any type, whether you want to go all out and try to do something as crazy as WV Tim, and how you could do that, or if you want to do something that's a little less, but you still want to do a gadget cache. And so we're going to talk about those, and that's in 3 weeks on April 21st. So anyway, well, again, folks, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I know we ran a little long, but hey, Some weeks it happens. It happens, it's okay. Email us your comments at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Geocache Talk is on Twitter, Instagram. Jesse handles Instagram mostly. I try to put some out periodically there, but definitely follow us there. We do have our Facebook page and group, facebook.com/geocache talk. And you can find the show on pretty much any of the podcasting locations: iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Spotify. And of course, go out to the Geocache Talk website. Check it out, geocachetalk.com. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and ring the notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. Tell your friends about the show, please. Get them involved, and also be involved in our chat room, which I know was probably hopping again, Jesse, all night long. So
hit the thumbs up.
hit the thumbs up. Click on that. Yep.
Send your puns to GTBQYW.
QYW. There you go. Until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. Go vlog, blog. Do all that, or at least go watch all the vlogs and read all the blogs and all that good stuff. And I obviously go geocaching or do what Jeff's doing, and that is eat a large chocolate bunny.
Yeah, hey Gary, that made me realize that Geocaching HQ needs to do a video series with their mascot called Signal the Vlog.
Signal the Vlog. Oh. Wow. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Bye.